moving on to the primary open angle glaucoma. In the university examination, they will ask you like that. What are the causes of gradual painless loss of vision? Then write about the primary open angle glaucoma, etiopathogenesis and clinical features, visual field defects of that. They will ask you the question like that. First they will ask you the causes of gradual painless loss of vision, then they will ask about the clinical features, etiopathogenesis, all of that. First discuss about the causes of gradual painless loss of vision. For that I have the mnemonic. I will show you. Hey. Peacock. The mnemonic is peacock. P means pterygium. When the pterygium reaches the cornea, see here is the eye. The nasal pterygium is more common than the temporal, so I will draw the nasal. The pterygium, here will be the cornea will be there. When pterygium reaches the visual axis of the cornea, then that means it encroaches the pupil. What happens? The light will not pass there, then there will be the vision loss. This is a gradual painless. Pterygium, E for nothing, A for age-related macular disease, C for cornea and the cataract. Cornea, cataract. Cornea, cataract. In the cornea, degenerations, corneal degenerations, corneal dystrophy. Another C means cataract, that is developmental cataract and the senile cataract. O is optic atrophy and C is C. Remember, make the K as R. Make the K as R. Chorioretinal degeneration. CR means chorioretinal degeneration. The R has diabetic retinopathy, there is retinopathy and refractive error. These are the causes of gradual painless loss of vision. You have to write this in the university examinations. P means pterygium, right here. Practice with me. A means age-related macular disease. C means cataract and cornea, corneal degenerations and the dystrophy and degenerations, developmental cataract and the senile cataract. O means optic atrophy. CR means chorioretinal degenerations. R means retinopathy, that is diabetic retinopathy. Another R means refractive error. These are the causes for the gradual painless loss of vision. Then moving on to the primary open angle glaucoma. First I will discuss about the definition. Primary open angle glaucoma is characterized by having optic disc changes, specific visual field defects and slowly progressive increase in the IOP. This is the definition. Very simple, na? See, here I have drawn that. I have written the definition of the textbook. They have showing the increased IOP. Then specific visual field defects, optic disc cupping. You can change that. Optic disc changes and optic disc cupping. Open angle. In the name is suggesting that open angle. There is open, normal appearing anterior chamber angle. That's all. हो गया हमारा definition of glaucoma. Moving on to the etiopathogenesis. Etiopathogenesis, remember like that. The patient came to you. A glaucomatous patient came to visit you. First see the age of the patient. Then race of the patient. Either the patient is black or white. Then ask the patient about the family. Any family history of the glaucoma. If there is family history of the glaucoma, you have to suspect the patient is also may or may not have the glaucoma. Then after this family history, ask about the smoking history. Then thyroid history, because the risk of glaucoma is more in this patient. When the age increases, what happens means the trabecular meshwork will undergo sclerosis. I will discuss the trabecular meshwork after a little while later. First focus here. When the age increases, what happens? There is trabecular meshwork sclerosis, so that there is no drainage of the aqueous humor. That is the important thing. Rays in the blacks, it is more than that of the whites. Family history, the genes responsible for the glaucoma are myocillin, optineurin, and WBD repeat domain C. See here, myocillin, optineurin, WD repeat domain C. Then after that, check the eye of the patient. First check the central corneal thickness. Why means when you are doing the tonometry means it is used to measure the IOP. When you are doing the tonometry, you can, for suppose this is the cornea. In that process, I will touch the cornea. By touching the cornea, I will estimate the IOP. Then central corneal thickness is more, that means you overestimate the IOP. Central corneal thickness less means you underestimate the IOP. No need to write all these things. You have to write the etiology. All these facts you have to write in the etiology. What about the pathogenesis? Moving on to the pathogenesis. Let's draw some diagram. We have completed the gradual painless loss of vision causes, definition, etiology. Moving on to the pathogenesis. In the pathogenesis, draw some diagram like this. This one is cornea, this one is sclera. Then draw the iris here. My diagrams are not good. Here the lens will be there. This is a rough diagram. No need to draw this diagram in the examination, so I am drawing in rough. In the gonioscopy means it will measure the, it will look for the angle. Gonio means angle. It will check the angle, whether angle is closed or open. In the open angle glaucoma, it should be open. Angle is open. Then where is the pathogenesis? Where is the pathology? If the angle is open, the aqueous humor should be drained. But it is not draining, so that we have increased IOP. Where is pathology means, I have done this patient electron microscopy. Do the patient electron microscopy of the trabecular meshwork. In that, you can see that the trabecular meshwork is having any change. If the trabecular meshwork has any change, that means intertrabecular spaces are narrowed. That means just now we have completed the causes for the gradual loss of vision, gradual painless loss of vision, and definition, etiopathogenesis, and the etiopathogenesis we have completed. Next, move on to the symptoms and the signs. अरे बस साइंस ज़्यादा रहती हैं, अच्छा सुनो. Moving on to the clinical features. Symptoms. In the symptoms, remember only one important point. That's enough. These people will change the presbyopic glasses frequently. So write frequent changes in the presbyopic glasses. Frequent changes in the presbyopic glasses. All these symptoms are non-specific to the glaucoma. And these patient we have the eye ache, headache, scotomas, gradual painless loss of vision. Then this patient will have the eye ache, headache, scotoma, gradual painless loss of vision. Delayed dark adaptation. These are the symptoms. Then moving on to the signs. Here please be attention. Symptoms are huge in number. I will discuss every symptoms in detail. Please follow me. First sign is increased IOP. In that increased IOP, write one test, that is diurnal variation test. Diurnal variation test. In the diurnal variation, I will tell what does it mean. Okay. First, suppose my normal IOP is 10 mmHg. My normal IOP is 10 mmHg means in the morning, afternoon, evening. If you check the IOP, it should be 10 mm, 10 mm, 10 mm. But it will not happen like this. When you check the morning, it is 15 mm. In the evening, it is 10 mm. What does it mean? In the morning, there is increased IOP than the normal. That is, increased IOP is 5 mmHg. That is normal. Because in the morning, cortisol levels are high. So that there is increased IOP in the morning. With how much it is increased means 5 mmHg. 5 mmHg increased in the patient means it is normal. When the patient having 8 mmHg or more, you have to suspect for the glaucoma. It is normally considered as diagnostic for the glaucoma. In the sign, first you have to put the anterior segment. In that anterior segment, you have to write the increased IOP. Then moving on to the important things. Then moving on to the glaucomatous optic nerve changes. Glaucomatous optic nerve head changes. In that, we have to see the optic nerve head in the glaucoma patient. All the doctors will use the slit lamp biomicroscopy. So put the heading examination and write the slit lamp biomicroscopy. Slit lamp biomicroscopy. After that, you can see the optic nerve head in the glaucoma patient. So divide the optic nerve head changes into early, advanced and glaucomatous optic atrophy. Glaucomatous optic atrophy. Early, advanced and the glaucomatous optic atrophy. In the early changes, what is seen? First come to the physiology. What happens in the normal? Normally, we have the optic disc here. I have shown how to draw the optic disc, macula, all these things in the first video. If you haven't watched that, please watch it. Then, in the optic disc, normal patients. In the normal patient, there is horizontal cupping. Cup means this one is cup. This one is neuroretinal rim. This neuroretinal rim having the neuronal layer. In the cup, there is non-neuronal layer. All these things are discussed in the previous video. If you haven't, then watch it. Then normally there is cup is to disc ratio is 1:3. That means 0.3. When the cup is to disc ratio is more than 0.3, we will consider it as an cupping. Cupping. Normally, in the physiologically, we have the horizontal cupping. But in the glaucoma patients, we have the vertical cupping. Remember these important points. First point in the early changes is you have to write the vertical oval cup. Vertical oval cup. Second point you have to mention is asymmetry in between two eyes. Of how much? 0.2. What does it mean? Means if we have two eyes, the cup is to disc ratio is 0.3, 0.3 in the right eye and 0.5 in the left eye. There is asymmetry, not like that 0.3, 0.3. There is asymmetry in between the two eyes of 0.2. When the asymmetry of in between two eyes greater than 0.2. These are the two early changes you have to write in your examination. There is vertical oval cup, asymmetry in between the two eyes that is greater than 0.2. These are the 2 points you have to write in the early changes. Then moving on to the important topic, that is advanced. Where is my scale? I will give you my notes in the Telegram. I will give you the Telegram link. You can take my notes there. Then we have the advanced glaucomatous changes. What are the advanced glaucomatous changes? In the advanced glaucomatous change, we have to draw simple diagram here. Cup disc ratio is further increased cup disc ratio. There is, write the first point, further increase in the vertical cup. Then what does the vertical cup increases? How it is linked to the neuroretinal ring? See here, in the cup we don't have the neurons. Here we don't have the neurons. In this side we have the neurons. All these are neurons. Because of in the glaucoma there is increased intraocular pressure. For that what happens? There is mechanical damage to the optic nerve. Remember, there is mechanical damage to the optic nerve. And there is also vascular damage. That means ischemia of the optic nerve also there. So that optic nerve will undergo atrophy. Optic nerve atrophy or optic nerve will damage. So that if the optic nerves are damaged, what happens? There is thinning because of the damage to these nerve fibers. So there is thinning of the neuroretinal rim and the cupping will be increased. The cup will be increased and thinning of the neuroretinal rim. Second point is thinning of neuroretinal rim. Then third point. Here we have the bionetting sign. I will tell the bionetting sign and what does it mean. Because of this increased cup disc ratio and thinning of the neuroretinal rim, the retinal blood vessels coming out of these will take a turn. That means, for suppose this one is the margin of the optic disc, the retinal blood vessels will move like this. And above we have the margin of the neuroretinal rim. See, two margins are there. Above the margins of the neuroretinal rim, the blood vessels will jump like this. They will bend. Two bends are there. See, two bends are there. Here also, two bends are there. This is called bionetting sign. Then, fourth sign is laminar dot sign. Laminar dot sign. What does it mean? Because here I will draw the eye diagram. Draw with me so that you can master in eye diagrams. After this, draw the iris, ciliary body, choroid, ciliary body, and we have the ciliaris muscle. Posterior end of the ciliary muscles we have the lens. This is the lens. This is the diagram. Here what happened means, here will be the optic nerve will there. This one is outer part is sclera. These sclera, these 95% fibers of the sclera run along with the optic nerve. 95% of the sclera runs along with the optic nerve. Here also it runs along with the optic nerve. Only 5% of the sclera runs inside. These sclera will have the pores. If you see, I will enlarge it. There is the optic nerve and here is the sclera, only 5% of the sclera. These sclera will have the pores. Further, through these pores, optic nerves are running. Because of this increased IOP, mechanical damage and the vascular damage, the optic nerves undergo atrophy. So that there is optic nerves atrophy, these pores will be visible. When there is damage to the optic nerve, the pores are visible. These pores are called laminar dots. So this is called laminar dot sign. Then next fifth point is pulsations of retinal arterioles. Pulsations of retinal arterioles. This is the pathognomic for the glaucoma. This is the pathognomic feature of the glaucoma. In this video, we have discussed the causes of gradual painless loss of vision. We have discussed the definition, etiopathogenesis, pathogenesis, symptoms, signs. Then glaucomatous optic nerve head changes. In that, examination is done by the slit lamp biomicroscopy. Optic nerve head changes are divided into early, advanced and glaucomatous optic atrophy. In that we have the early. In the early changes, we have the vertical oval cup. In the advanced changes, there is increased vertical cup, thinning of neuroretinal rim, bionetting sign, laminar dot sign and pulsations of retinal arterioles. In the glaucomatous optic atrophy, in this third point, in the glaucomatous optic atrophy, write the mechanism like this. See here, mechanical damage, vascular damage. As I have told earlier, there is increased IOP, the forces the lamina cribrosa backward. What happens means, when there is any increase in the IOP, what happens? There is cupping. The lamina cribrosa will move backward. This is the cupping. So, write like this: forces the lamina cribrosa backward and disturb the axoplasmic flow. In the vascular, there is ischemic atrophy of the nerve fibers. That is about the glaucomatous optic atrophy. We have discussed everything about the primary open angle glaucoma. No, we have not yet. There, visual field defects are there. We have to remember all these visual field defects. No need to mug up. No need to mug up these points. Please be with me. I will make you understand everything. Just be with me. In the visual field defects, there is the optic disc. All of you know that optic disc is called a blind spot. Here is the optic disc. Here is the optic disc. Here is the optic disc. First sign is visual field defects. Remember this mnemonic. Then you will write everything about the visual field defects. First thing is isoptic contraction. First I will tell the mnemonic. IC, BP should be regulated stepwise continuously through the treatment. See, IC, blood pressure should be regulated stepwise continuously through treatment. IC means isoptic contraction. Isoptic contraction means First I will draw the normal visual field here. Here is the normal visual field. The blind spot is there. There is blind spot now. The visual field is not there. This one is the normal visual field. Isoptric contraction means there is contraction of this visual field. That means this line moves like this. That means there is loss of vision in this area. It is called the isoptric contraction. First change is isoptric contraction. First, if the vision is in that area, contraction means the vision is contracted. The area in this field increases. That is about the isoptric contraction. Then, bearing of blind spot. Bearing of blind spot means the area around this optic disc is not visible. That means the visual field around this optic disc, this area is also undergone visual loss. These also undergone visual loss. This is called bearing of blind spot. Next visual field defect is paracentral scotoma. We have covered the isoptic contraction. There is contraction of the visual field. Then bearing of blind spot, the vision loss around this optic disc. Then we have the paracentral scotomas. This one is central, na? We have the paracentral scotomas here. These are the paracentral scotomas. Next visual field defect is cedal scotoma. Cedal scotoma means when these scotoma means there is visual loss in the particular area. That means this one is the physiological scotoma. There is no vision in this optic disc area. Because of this glaucoma, there is specific visual field defects. Specific scotomas are seen. First is isoptic contraction, bearing of blind spot, then paracentral scotoma. These paracentral scotoma and bearing of blind spots meet. For suppose they meet like this. I will draw here. This one is the cedal scotoma. When the paracentral scotomas and the bearing of blind spot, when these two will meet and this darkened area have the vision loss. Any vision loss in the specific part of the visual field is called the scotoma. This is the cedal scotoma. After that we have the Jerum's scotoma. Remember, isoptic contraction, bearing of blind spot, paracentral scotoma, cedal scotoma, and we having the Jerum's scotoma or arcuate scotoma. First see here. This arc is called the Jerum's area. This area is called the Jerum's area. When there is vision loss in this Jerum's area, we called it as a Jerum's scotoma. First there is Jerum's scotoma. This is the Jerum's scotoma or arcuate scotoma. After that we have the ring scotoma. Then we have the double arcuate scotoma. Double arcs are there and it is looking like a ring. Ring scotoma or double arcuate scotoma. This one is the inferior arcuate scotoma, superior arcuate scotoma. When you see clearly here, these two lines are not meeting. Here is the meeting point and here is the meeting point. This meeting is called the nasal step. Nasal step. First there is isoptic contraction, bearing of blind spot. Isoptic contraction, bearing of blind spot, cedal scotoma, Jerum's scotoma or arcuate scotoma, then double arcuate scotoma, then there is nasal step. Then after, if the patient is untreated, the patient will have the loss of vision entire, but the central island and the temporal island remain till last. That means the patient can see central temporal side, but all the other visual fields are affected. All the other visual fields are affected. Only the temporal and central are uh, central. There is no vision loss in these two areas. After, if the patient is untreated, first central will go, then temporal will go. When you see here, central loss of vision is first, temporal loss of vision is last. So remember these mnemonic: isoptric contraction, bearing of blind spot, paracentral scotoma, cedial scotoma, gerum scotoma, ring scotoma, nasal step, central loss of vision, tubular vision, then temporal loss of vision. These are the specific visual field defects. These are the, we have completed the primary open angle glaucoma. Let's revise the primary open angle glaucoma. Definition is, primary open angle, here I have the other name for the primary open angle glaucoma is chronic simple glaucoma. They will give the question